Hi, this is Lela with Serenity Cards and Coaching, and we are in week 8 of our countdown to Christmas with Bethany and Lela, 12 weeks to a wow Christmas. By the way, if you love these countdown blocks, they're super fun for counting down for all kinds of occasions. If you love these blocks, this was week 1 actually. So or week 12. But now we're in week 8. I can't believe it. 8 weeks till the middle of December. And we've got lots of projects for getting us to Christmas. So Lela, Serenity Cards and Coaching, you can find me at lelamikey.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and a Gallup certified Clifton Strengths coach. And we are making, the main focus today is these crackers, these super fun cracker treats. And there's different ways we can dress them up. There's different things we can put inside of them. We can make them wider, longer, shorter, and we can put them in a sweet little decorative box. So today, the main focus of the video and the PDF, accompanying PDF, is to show you how to make the cracker and how to make this box. And by the way, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are accessing this video and this content because you are a subscriber at lelamikey.com to my newsletters and my emails, and I'm super grateful for you. Please spread the word. Please invite others. We've got really 12 weeks to a wow Christmas. So let's go ahead and get started. And the very first thing we're going to do is we're very simply going to make this cracker. And you know what? Honestly, it's a wow on its own. It used to be that there didn't used to be a die for this. It used to be that you just had, like, you used toilet paper rolls or whatnot. But now there's a die to go ahead and make these crackers. So this is the cracker die, and it comes with a number of like different window options if you want to make a little window. It's got a variety of little accessories, but we're going to focus on these two today with the cracker die. And we're also going to be using, for the most part, we're going to be using this Celebrate Designer Series paper. And this is from the mini catalog, the holiday mini that's out right now. It's got some great bright patterns. If you came to my bingo, you would have gotten an abundance of this paper. If you host us a party, you can get this paper. It's just colorful and happy and bright, and that is what we are focusing on today. So you would take the cracker die. Now I use purple tape to just kind of keep things nice and secure, but you would take a 5x6 piece of Designer Series paper and roll it through on your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So honestly, this right here, I could stop after I show you how to assemble this cracker because it's just a wow on its own. I won't, there's so much more, but let me show you the basics of assembling the cracker. So I've taken the liberty of rolling one of these things through, and you can see that there's a number of score lines. So I'm just going to, this is the best practice, and I would like to thank a few people. Brenda Quintana showed some tips how to best use this cracker, and also Bethany, 12 weeks to a wow Christmas with Bethany and Lela. Bethany definitely had great ideas. And so I would like to show you the tips that are necessary. You want to score everywhere, and you want to score horizontally, and you want to score vertically, and that's really going to give you the best shape. So I'm just taking time to do that everywhere. And there's actually 3 score lines this way. There's kind of one at each end, and there's even one in the middle. So just take kind of a tiny second and even get those scored. So you get everything scored on each side, and then we're going to adhere one end to the other. And you can count on me to figure out what not to do. So I'm going to show you a couple things what not to do, but let's start with what to do. So I've got everything scored. And now I'm going to take my glue, and this works best with glue. So I've got my Mono Multi-Tombow glue, and I am wanting the bright outside to be the focal point. And so I'm going to put my glue on the inside, and I'm going to wrap it around. Now, you want to wrap it like inside to outside. So you're going to make a cylinder basically. So you're going to go all the way around and you're going to wrap it. And what I love about glue is it's forgiving and it gives a little bit of movement and it gives a little bit of time to move things. And so you want to be perfectly aligned with so that it's a wrap, and now you've got 5 sides basically. You've got a star, and you can see here now I'm forming the ends. I can come over here and forming the end. I want to give a good burnish on the inside, so I'm going to take my bone folder and just make sure I've got a good burnish on the inside. And I had placed the window in one of the middle areas. Oh gosh, you know what? I can tell you what else not to do. Oops. I had placed the window in one of the middle guys so that it glues on the back and you don't see that. I should have adhered the window first on the inside. And so do I have another empty one here where I can show you? I do not. This window is 2.5 by 1/2 inch. It's a window sheet, and very simply, before you did that step of rolling, and I apologize about that, you want to take a little bit of tear and tape on each end of your window. So sometimes this is what I'll do. I'll take a little piece of tear and tape. I'll take maybe 1 inch. I'll go like that, and then I'll attach it to my 2 fingers, and without cutting myself, I'll come in here so I can get just the tiniest little pieces on it. I'm going to put one on one end, one on the other end. I'm going to lift up that tear and tape. Now, I'll see if I can get it in there. This is what not to do, right? I'll show you a couple other things not to do. But this window is going to be just nice and decorative. So I've got the tape side up, and I'm going to come in, and can I do it? I bet I can, but really it's a lot easier if you would have done it first, right? So do what I say, not what I do. All right, so it worked out. So I got the window in there anyway after the fact, and it wasn't too painful. So there you go. There you have it. And now you're going to tie one end with a ribbon. Now the open weave ribbon works great. You want a nice, soft, pliable ribbon. So I'm going to use this one right now, but also like polished pink open weave ribbon works great. So you can tie a nice bow. You can tie just even a little knot if you want to. Twine works great. Some of the stiffer ribbons don't work well. Of course, some of the larger ribbons are going to be maybe a little bit too big, but the open weave, like the in color open weave, is the best. This nice real red ribbon is also just really good. The white, actually white organdy worked well. Many. You just want a nice, soft, pliable ribbon. So you're going to go ahead and tie the one end. And then if you want to put something cute inside, you can put a couple of these guys inside. So, and I think these guys, you would have kind of put those in the middle first and then done your wrapping. But Hershey's Kisses, you can just pop that right in there. And there you have it. I did another one where I put M&Ms. And so I put those. Now you're going to want to make sure that you've got a food safe bag if you're going to put M&Ms in there, but those look really cute also. And this soft seafoam ribbon is also super soft and luxurious and works really, really well. And how fun is this for like Halloween for the kiddos, right? So you want to make sure you're using, so I put the M&Ms in a food safe baggie, and then I put those inside of there. So there's any number of different things you could put behind the window. Nuggets are kind of elegant, and I'll show you an elegant cracker in a little bit. So you could put nuggets inside. So there you have it. There's your cracker. You're going to get your stuff inside. You're going to tie the other end, and there you have your cracker. So that's that guy. Now, and actually, let's see what else. Did I want to talk about what else could fit inside? So I talked about the candy that could fit inside. Nuggets fit nicely. Hershey's Kisses. These peanut, and a great way to put these guys in is to kind of do them back to back like that, with the narrow end at the end of the at the end of the cracker so that it kind of ties nicer in a nice bow. And you could probably fit 4 in there. So that's that guy. I haven't done the Tootsie Pop, but it looks like it would fit inside of there. So that's something to play with. Let's say you don't want candy. Let's say you want to do something different. You could absolutely, here's a bone folder. So I took a bone folder and I put it inside. So how fun would that be to put in someone's Christmas stocking or just give someone a nice fun gift? And then the other, so I did figure out that you could also fit this inside of a cracker, but again, just like these guys, you would want to put them in first and then do your gluing kind of after the fact. So there's that guy. And then I also had a blend. I'm not seeing where that one is right now, but I had a blend, and that's super fun too. So instead of the bone folder, you could take the blend and you would have that. Oh, I know, it was on another plate. But anyway, you could take like a alcohol marker and put that in there. You could take some twine and put that in there. Just really have fun with it. You could put jewelry, you could put chapstick, you could put lotion. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can fit in there. And this, by the way, is an English tradition, I guess. They do the crackers, but now we can play with them over here too. So, all right, a couple things not to do. You don't want to glue inside to inside. So that's what I did here. I made a mistake. I glued inside to inside. So you don't want to do that unless you're going to do that on purpose and maybe have some fun doing some kind of fun fold with it or something. But I'm telling you this because I did it not once, but twice. So I glued on the inside of the green side, but instead of wrapping it around, I put the two greens together. And so I did that not once, but twice. So you don't want to do that. You want to form a circle and go all the way around. Another thing you don't want to do unless you want to, the very first time I put it together without studying it, I wasn't sure. So I kind of got a 4-sided object. I actually really quite like that. And look how elegant it is anyway. You could pop a little chapstick in there. You could pop a nice lipstick in there. So you could get a 4-sided shape on purpose as well. So those are some things you can put in. Those are some things to do and not do. Now let's make the box. We're going to make this box. So this box was custom sized to be able to fit 4 poppers, and Bethany came up with that, and thank you, Bethany, for coming up with that design. So I've got a PDF and it has everything all spelled out, but I'm going to also talk you through it. So our bottom, by the way, is polished pink, and I've kind of done a nice lining on the side of the box lid, and then our box top is basic black with, of course, the Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper and the bow up in the upper left corner. So let's start with the box base. The box base is 7 3/4 by 7 1/2. I'm going to say that again. I don't have a visual. 7 3/4 by 7 1/2. And then you're going to score the box base, and I'll show you this even though I've done it. So 7 3/4 by 7 1/2, and then you're going to come in and you're going to score on the 1 1/4 inch mark. And I want to make a point here. You really want to score on the 1/4 inch mark and then rotate. 1/4 inch mark and then rotate. And you want to do that on all 4 sides. This is 1 1/4 inch mark, I should say. 1 1/4 on all 4 sides. This is the box base. And the reason that you want to do that is so then you're ensuring that your box is equal sides all the way around, just in case you cut it 1/8 of an inch too small, too large. If you score and rotate, you're guaranteed to have the same size of all the sides. So your box base, that's what you've done. And then I will show you, we're going to miter the edges of the box base, but we're only going to do the tab itself. So let me show you. I've already done it on 3 of the corners, and now coming in on the 4th corner, I'm going to cut straight up so that I've got a tab forming, and then I'm going to miter just the tab itself. And it doesn't matter if it's perfectly straight or what angle it's on or whatever. You want it sized so that you can really secure the box. So that's it. You're going to go to 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. Doesn't matter which end you choose, but you always want to do the opposite side then of whichever end you chose. So that's going to be the box base. And let's just assemble it while we're here then. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish everything all the way around. And you know me, normally I would burnish really securely with my bone folder, and I would do both sides and give it just a really, really good burnish everywhere. But for the magic of television, I'll go a little quicker here. So I've got everything scored all the way around. And now I'm going to start on this side, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the middle there. And I'm going to form my box shape on that side. So that's formed, but now I'm going to come in and I'm really going to make sure that it's exactly the right shape, and I'm going to burnish. So I'm going to come here. That's what I love about glue. It's forgiving. So I really want a nice crisp corner right there. And you can see now why I didn't miter on this half, because I want a nice crisp shape. And then I've got enough time, because it's glue, I can come over to this side and I can make sure that that's just a nicely shaped box on that side. And then I'm going to come in and give a really, really, really good burnish. I could do that with my bone folder as well. And you can see some of the mitering on the inside. I've even gone so far sometimes as to line the inside and the outside. And I really like a nice lining, but I think that this is going to be so cute. And it's kind of so temporary, right? Once they open the crackers and they have their little snacks or their little gifts or their little treats or whatever, it's probably not something that they're going to keep, because they'll have to open the cracker to get the stuff out. So it's kind of a temporary thing anyway, but you want it as pretty as it can be. You know, especially in these kind of maybe budget conscious times, this is a super affordable way to give just a really thoughtful gift. Maybe tailor it to treats that they like. Maybe tailor it to colors that they like, or designer series paper that you know that they like. And it's just a really sweet little gift. So, and I've got a fun, we're doing a Secret Santa right now with all of customers and team members. And I've got a fun little idea with that. I'll show you in a bit as well. That's our box base. That's it right there. That's our box base. I'm going to put that off to the side, and now the box lid is going to take a little more attention. So let's clean house a little bit and let's get the box lid ready. So the box lid, very first, the size of this, and again, you would have gotten the PDF. If you're accessing this video, you're on my email list and you have access to the PDF as well. So the box base, the box lid, 7 1/8 by 7 3/8. Box lid, 7 1/8 by 7 3/8. And so it's not a square, so I cut it. And then on this guy, we're going to score 1 inch. So same principle, we're going to come over here. We're going to, on all 4 sides, we're going to do 1 inch, and then we're going to rotate. We're going to do 1 inch, rotate, inch, rotate, inch, rotate. That way, if you're off even a fraction of an inch, fraction of a quarter, fraction of 1/8 of an inch, you're still going to be okay, because your sides will all be the same size. And so then it's the same idea. We cut and we only miter just the tab itself. We don't want to miter the box lid edge for sure. And this really, really is visible, so we don't want to do that. And then we're going to come in and we're going to burnish everywhere. We would use our bone folder to do that. You want to just get a good burnish everywhere. And we're going to do some gluing here. And then we're going to do some die cutting. So let's take a look at the box lid again. Where we're headed, this is where we're headed. So we've got a box lid. So it shapes the very same way that the bottom did, but the top is decorated and the sides are decorated. So in order to do that, you're going to cut your designer series paper. And this designer series paper is on the box lid is cut to 5 by 5 1/8 inch. 5 by 5 1/8. So it's not an exact square. So you want to make sure that you place it the right way. This is the wrong way. It's a little bit too long. This is the right way. So I want to just get this in the center. And I want to make sure to put adhesive everywhere. The reason being, I'm going to be cutting out the center. So I want to make sure that I've got adhesive in the corners so that when I cut out the center, it still stays, right? So I've got that placed nicely, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a good varnish. While I'm here, I can also line much more easily the sides of my box lids. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to line the sides. And I took the same piece of designer series paper, but I just took the other side, which is just so happy. And I think from a design perspective, it works well because you've got your basic black, you've got all your splashes of color on the inside, and then you're starting to transition to the polished pink and the polished pink that ties it all together. So I've got polished pink all the way around. So I'm going to get my strips. These strips are 3/4 of an inch, right? So if this is an inch, I want to come in a little bit, and it's by 5 inches. And so I just did the same size all the way around, even though the box is not an exact square. So a couple of them are going to fit a little more snugly than the other, but I'm just going to go ahead and get these glued. Now I am centering it. I'm centering it in the middle, left to right, and I'm centering it top to bottom. And that way that assures that when I go to assemble the box, that I mean, you're really not going to see these next to each other, but if you happen to see it at an angle, you're not going to have one like towards the top and the other towards the bottom. So just do your best to center left to right, center top to bottom. Then we'll be ready to do, now you could do one of two things to get an aperture in the middle or to get an opening, to get a decorative opening right there. You could do one of two things. You could cut with your trimmer, and so I'm not going to show you that, but I'll do a nano. I'm not going to do it, but I'll show you for a nanosecond. Like, let's say you don't want to die cut or you don't have a die cut machine, you can measure what size you want to come to, and then you would just line this up here, and you would use this one thing I love about our trimmer. You could come in and you could trim from here to here and rotate and trim from here to here. So you could cut like basically a square or a rectangle in the middle. Again, we're not going to do that because I'm going to do it with a die cut. And I kind of love the design of the die cut. It's got like a little scallopy thing on it, and I think it looks really cute. So let me show you how I've done it. So you would take this, and this is from one of the Christmas dies. It's I think it's painted labels. There's a number of tags, super useful. Makes a great opening. So let's say you want to center this. Well, guess what I figured out? I figured out, and I have to roll it through. This guy is too wide to go through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine anyway. So I have to kind of bring these in as I'm going to roll it through. And look at that. That fits like exactly perfectly. So if I want this centered, I could put it through my Stampin' Die Cut and machine just like that. And sometimes I use purple tape. We don't sell it. You could use washi tape to kind of just adhere this down so that it stays exactly where you want it to. But I would just simply roll it on a regular die cut sandwich through the machine exactly like that. Now, as I'm doing it, I know that I'm going to end up with this extra piece here. Like, I know that, right? I've got the opening. That's what I want. I want the opening. I want the negative space. So all of this, what am I going to do with all of this? So at the same time as I'm rolling it through, I've got another die. I think it's in the same set. And I can figure out like what pattern do I want to have showing. And I could roll that through at exactly the same time. And then once I roll this sandwich through, what do I get? Well, through the magic of television, I'll show you. I get the box lid that I want, and I end up with an extra tag. So if I want to use this tag, I can. And then there's really not much to be done with that, so I'm probably going to throw that away. But in any event, I got an extra little tag, and I did it with kind of one efficient motion. If you didn't want to do that, this on its own would make a great tag. So you could just roll it through, not put a tag there, and this on its own would be a great like layer on a card or decorative element. So I am going to save that guy. Why do I have so many? I've made quite a few of these. So now I've got my mitered edges, I've got my lined edges, I've got my opening. The only thing I don't have is I don't have the window opening covered. I mean the window covered. So we sell window sheets and they're amazing for just exactly this purpose. And I've cut my window sheet, again, it's not square, it's rectangle, to 4 3/4 by 5 inches. So I've cut that to 4 3/4 by 5. You could now use, so now we're not going to use glue. You could use either tear and tape, which is what I'm going to use here, or you could use Seal Plus. So you could use either one. I'm just going to use tear and tape, and I'm just going to do it at each end. I basically want to use the tear and tape just to adhere it, and it's not going to go anywhere if I'm using tear and tape. You do want to be kind of mindful of where you're putting adhesive and where you're placing it, because you can see underneath the box lid. I don't think people are really going to look at it, but you can see under it. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to place my window. If I got fingerprints on it, sometimes I come in with a paper towel and I clean it. I don't think there's a right or wrong side to the window, but basically there you have it. That's our window, and now we turn it over and we've got our window. So look how sweet that is. That's it, you guys. We made a really nice lined box top. So just to finish it off, we're going to go ahead and adhere all of our little tabs. So I'm going to do a couple at a time. I'm going to do this guy and this guy. Now, if you wanted to, I guess you could come in and further do some kind of lining or designer series paper on the inside if that tape really bothered you. But you know what, I've opened these quite a few times. I don't think anybody's going to be looking at the underside of this box. They might just, if it's a crafter, they might notice it for the craftsmanship, but they're not going to be, I mean, it's really not a major part of it. So same thing, I'm taking care, and especially since this is the lid and this is the part that's going to be seen, I'm taking care to make sure that I've got everything lined up and fitting. And so there's that side, and I've got a nice box shape. And now I'm going to come to the other end, and I'm going to put adhesive on my 2 tabs here. And you guys, I cannot wait to give away some of these boxes. I cannot wait. So right now we're doing a secret, let me get it right, Secret Sisters, Serenity Sisters Secret Santa. So yeah, that's my group name, is Serenity Sisters, and then we're doing a Secret Santa swap. And so I have an idea for that I'm going to show you now that I'm telling it here, and probably some of the Serenity Sisters are watching. I probably can't do this idea, but maybe you guys want to copy it and you can do it. And then somebody will think it's me, because it really is Secret Sisters. It really is fun. And so you spend the whole time trying to guess, who was it? So, all right, so we've got the box bottom. We've got our crackers. We are going to cross our fingers and hope that everything fits. So we'll get one more cracker in here. And here's the blend. So it's a little bit long. You're not going to be able to do that. Here's the blend. Super cute inside of a cracker. That's not going to fit in here. So let me get a different one. We'll take this guy and we'll go ahead and put the lid on. And it fits. So perfect. So get your shapes kind of the way you want it. I see that this kind of popped out a little. Get your shapes the way you want it. And then let me show you how to adhere the ribbon. I like the ribbon in the upper left corner. I learned this from Bethany. You want your ribbon at 32 inches. So I'm going to take this soft sea foam and I'm going to measure 32 because 32 really does work. So that's 1 feet, 2 feet, and a little longer, almost 3 feet. And then look at, I never in my entire life never knew how to do this with a box. So I want the bow in the upper left corner. So I'm going to put the ribbon in the bottom right. I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to come up and the ribbon just comes up here. Now I do want to look at the back and make sure like nothing turned around, because when I did it before it was turning around. And then I just come up here and I tie my bow. Oh my gosh, how sweet is this? Just how sweet and how happy is this, right? How fun. So I take my bow and I go ahead and I can make it as big and decorative as I want. I'm going to cut off the edges, and now I've just got a super fun bow up there, right? So there's that guy. And then if I wanted to, I could further come in and decorate with my tag. I could come in with a different color tag. I could do anything I want right there, right? So that is our finished box. Now let me show you. So this was the one we started with. Here's another one. And then honestly, and I know I love New Year's. I love New Year's. So I wanted to bring our Alpha Best bundle in because we've been trying to feature Alpha Best. I played with the tag a little bit. This gold ribbon looks amazing. So here's maybe what your cracker would look like. That's the 4-sided. Here's what your cracker would look like. That's the 5-sided, and one of the little ribbons came off. But anyway, look how beautiful that is, right? So here we've alternated the vanilla and the black, and there's all kind of gold shimmer happening everywhere. And then we used Alpha Best for 2023 and added some little black twine, and then just look how sweet and elegant that wouldn't that just make a great, like, let's say you're having a New Year's party, you could just leave this even as a table decoration for everybody. So that is that guy. So those are a couple different options for the boxes. I mean, it would just work with any designer series paper, right? Now a few other things. I also think it would be kind of fun just to have your crackers on a plate and on a tray. So let's say you were celebrating with the kiddos, or you were celebrating for, I want to take some of these out because I think it'll be decorative with all the colors. Let's say you were doing Halloween. Let's say you were having a kiddo's birthday party, right? You could have all these out here, and that could just be a fun little display to hand out little treats, right? So that would just be fun at a party. People could kind of come in. I didn't put it in here, but another idea that we could do is we could take like a scroll, a little piece of paper. You could either fold it or you could roll it in a scroll. You could decorate it a little bit, and it could be like for Thanksgiving, you could put like a personalized little note of what you're grateful for the person. So there's so many different things you could do with it. And then I wanted to show you just a couple other shapes before we close out. So here's our cracker shape. And that's fine. By the way, what not to do, right, would be glue it like that. That's the what not to do. But let's say we want to get a cute little guy like this, and he fits exactly one little Reese's peanut butter cup, right? But we only want to put one. We don't want to put the whole thing. So you're going to take your cracker, you're going to get it cut, and we basically want to remove 1 inch from it. So what we know we need each side. We know we need like from the score onward and from the score onward. So I'm going to come to this end. I'm going to keep the score right there. And then I'm going to kind of cut about 1 inch off. And I measured it. That's how I know, because I was playing with sizes before. I'm going to cut about 1 inch off right there. Now I can save this in case I'm going to try to marry two together later. I can save that as a little piece, because to marry it and extend it, then this is already nicely scored at all the score lines that I need. But for this guy, we're shortening him. So let's take a look at how that would work. So I've got my 2 sides now, and I basically just want to put a tiny little strip as close to the edge right here as I can of glue. And I've allowed that tiny little strip on this end. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over so that I know that I'm just lined up right on the fold line, because that's what I want. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not too far up or too far down. And then that's it, you guys. Then I simply come in and I fold all these, which I don't think I had done to both of these prior. And then I adhere this end to this end, like we know to do. And I've just got a shorter, cuter little guy, right? So that's how you can make it a little bit shorter. You pop your little one kind of peanut butter Reese's Pieces in there, and then you're good to go with that sweet little autumn tree, right? So that's how you can shorten it. You can do another, so you can basically get double the size by doing the opposite effect. So you're going to take one full one and another full one and adhere together in the middle right there. And then you can kind of put your item inside, wrap it all the way around, and then you're going to want to fuss around with the edges and kind of pinch the edges together and play with a nice end. What I ended up doing is following along with Brenda Quintana. And what she did was she cut all along this strip right here. So she ended up making a bunch of tabs right there. So now I've got one end that's kind of floofy like I like. And then there's one end that's a number of tabs. And then I'm going to get, I think it was a 2-inch circle that she said. If you want to know that, let me know. I can get you this information because I'm not sharing exactly that today, just kind of giving you some ideas of how you can shape it differently. But you can kind of adhere it together like that. Put the right size circle. You would basically sandwich it in a circle. So you would put a circle at the base and you would put a circle on the inside. I do think that was too, you know what, let's just measure. What size circle do you need? So if you were to do it, you would need a circle. Oh, I know, I'll measure the one that I have done. So I did one right here, right? So I think it was 2 inches, but let's take a look. 2 1/4. So you want 2 1/4. And I did this in a hurry. You want to take some time and line up your tabs a little bit more and they're going to overlap. But basically 2 2 1/4 circles. And then this is just some, oh gosh, I want to pop that out and shape that a little bit. So this is sanitizer that I got at a great price. And just a cute little scallop circle and Mary, and then that holds the sanitizer. I've got kind of my 5 at the top right there. There's my ribbon, and so that's just a super cute little thing I could give as well. So let's see, are there any other shapes here? No, the final thing I would say is, like, you could even do this even if you didn't have designer series paper. You could take like grocery bags, or you could take craft paper, and you could just really have some fun decorating this and putting all, like, I didn't decorate the outside, but you could put all kinds of, like, you could put a circle on the outside and add layers, and you could really just decorate this up and have it stand on its own. You could make it a little more rustic with twine. So you really can have a lot of fun. So you guys, that is our 12 weeks to Christmas today. So I thank you for joining. Yeah, oh, I know, I was going to close with the Secret Sister. So here's the Secret Sister one. Last year, my Secret Sister was Melody. So I had Melody. I was her Secret Santa. So, and Melody loves Almond Joy. So, and how Secret Santa works is you send a box. So it's coordinated. You got to sign up with us by October 28th. Anybody's welcome. You sign up by October 28th. You get your person assigned by November 4th. And then let's say you got Melody. Melody loves Almond Joy. You would send her 7 days of gifts. And then, and she would need to, we will all receive them before like December 15th. Then on December 18th, we start opening them. And hopefully there's like a little note. So this would be what? The 20th. This would be a note to Melody. Open this on December 20th. This is your little gift. So, so then it's like, okay, it's the 20th. I get to open my Almond Joy. So it would just be a fun little countdown. You could have a bunch of them and just do like put them in a box and then be like, okay, here's 18, 19, 20, 21. And then another little something for 22, 23, building up to the 25th. And then on the 25th, it's a $10, just a $10 little gift. But anyway, there's so many different ideas you could do with this to play and have fun. So I kind of wanted to close with that would be a fun one too. So thank you so much for joining Serenity Cards and Coaching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.